Welcome to our preview of the quarterfinal clash between the Atlas Lions of Morocco and, of course, the Seleção of Portugal at the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup. It's going to be another battle for the Moroccans, and we are all praying, we are all hoping with a massive support that they will become the first African team to play in the semi-final, to qualify for the semi-final of FIFA World Cup. James Agberibi joins me via video, via phone rather, and of course we'll be previewing that game together. James, welcome to our preview of that game.
Yeah, thank you, Femi.
Okay, James, of course, not too distant days ago, we saw the Moroccans getting that famous win over Spain. And of course, you can literally say that Morocco sacked Luis Enrique from his job. And we've seen organization. I remember Kayode has always been talking about the tactical discipline that the North Africans have in this competition over the West Africans. And we saw that expressly in Morocco's game against Spain. No moment of distraction, despite the fact that some key players got injured and were taken out of the game. Some others who came in to replace them maintained the same attitude, James. I think that's going to count a lot for them against Portugal. But let's begin by saying that yesterday there was a video of the Moroccan players in high spirit, maybe I think on a bus heading to a training, and they were singing one song. They were singing last, now everybody go chop breakfast. So it seems they have been listening to Burna Boy. I think they are literally saying that they are going to serve Portugal breakfast the way they did against Spain. James, I know, I know you disagree with that, but like we always say, this is football and anything is possible.
Yes, Femi, anything is possible in football. But I don't know if how Morocco will... I hope they've recovered from the game against Spain, because that took a lot out of them. You know, we saw the way they lined up against the Spaniards. They were more defensive and hitting on the counter, and eventually they had to rely on penalties to come out victorious. And against Portugal, this is not the first time they will be meeting Portugal in the World Cup. In 1986, I remember Morocco defeated Portugal 3-1 in their final group game to top a group that also had England and Poland. Morocco topped the group. You know, the victory against Portugal gave them the only victory in the group because they drew with Poland and England. So they have history against Portugal at the World Cup. So, I mean, this quarterfinal clash now is going to be a big one for them. I don't know how they're going to cope because this Portuguese team, they've grown into this competition. Also that they had a shaky start against Ghana, and they were able to come out victorious against Uruguay. They lost against
South Korea.
South Korea, you know, but you understandably they rested some of their key guys. And the game against Switzerland, they bounced back with that heavy victory. I don't think any other team has scored that high in this World Cup, 6-1 in the round of 16 game. I mean, that was disappointing from the Swiss team because we always know them to be a decent side, but they were hammered heavily. And that goes to show that this Portuguese team, they are growing into this competition. Remember how they did it in the 2016 Euros? They drew all their group game, but when it got to the knockout stage, I mean, they just took off and went straight to the final and won the trophy. So it's like this current team now is taking they're towing that line. And I don't know, Morocco, I mean, they're going to have their hands full this time. Though they had it good against Spain, but this is Portugal. The Spanish team, we know how bad that team has been. They are not the Spanish team that we used to know. They struggled hard to even create chances to score. You know, but this Portuguese team, they've shown that they can score goals from all angles. You have the likes of Bruno Fernandes is there, Rafael Leao is there, and the new kid on the block,
the Ramos, Goncalo Ramos.
Yes, who replaced Ronaldo, scored a hat-trick. I think he's the only player that scored a hat-trick in this World Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
You have Ado Silva, you have Felix. I mean, you have a lot of players that will be coming from all different angles. You know, so I mean, the Moroccans, whatever they did against Spain, I mean, they are going to do extra this time around because these Portuguese have players who can score from all angles.
Okay.
So the coach have to put on his thinking cap. It's going to be a tough one for them, and it's only for me. I believe it's only a miracle that we see them through against Portugal. I'm not ruling out an upset, but I mean they're going to have their work cut out seriously. But I'm edging close. I'm edging on Portugal to take this one.
Okay, but James, let's talk about the organization in the Moroccan team, because in this competition they've not considered a goal from open play. I think the only goal they've considered has been from an own goal. They've not considered from an open play. Yeah, it tells about how Walid has been able to, put a lot of organization in this team. A team, it took over in August this year. I think even if the Portuguese are going to score goals, it's going to be very difficult to break down this Moroccan side, because you can see that Spain and Portugal, they almost have a similar style of play. And if the Spaniards fail to break down this team, I think Portugal might face a similar obstacle. What do you think?
I think the difference between the two teams is for the Spanish team, I don't know, maybe because the victory against Costa Rica kind of, let's say, fooled everybody. So we go to show that there are a lot of cracks in the team. But this Portuguese team, I believe they would have watched that game between Spain and Morocco. They will know how the Moroccans will want to approach the game. I mean, we all know that they want to start from defense. They want to make sure the defense is solid and they rely on counter. I mean, they are going to. I believe that's what they're going to try and do. And the Portuguese coach Fernandes,
Santos,
old head fox who has been in the business for a long time. So I believe you know how to go about it. And my fear for the Moroccans is if they should concede first, how are they going to react? Because we must now have to come out and score. So because one thing about them is their organization, especially at the back, they want to make sure every space, every loophole is blocked. But the thing is, would they be able to hold on for so long against the Portuguese? Because when you face a team that has players who can come from all angles, it makes it very difficult for you. Unlike a team that will rely on just one player. But there you have Bernardo Silva, you have Felix, you have the new kid on the block, Ramos. You have Bruno Fernandes. You have a lot of guys who can hurt you from all angles. It's always very difficult when you come up against teams like that. The thing about the Spanish team is, I don't know, maybe because the team is so young, and they didn't really have that. They didn't really have those players who can just take the scruff at the neck and just do something. So they were just passing, and it was so easy to contain them. But the Portuguese team they're not even relying on Cristiano Ronaldo. Without him, they were able to score. I think it was already 5 or 4-0 before he was introduced against Switzerland. So I mean, like I said, Morocco. I know it sounds harsh, but I think they've gotten to their bus stop.
Okay.
But you cannot continue doing the same thing, because we know that they are going to start off from the defensive side. And hopefully, if they should concede first, I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them.
Okay. The Moroccans, led by Saiss, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers captain, they're here to lose a game. They're here to lose a game this competition, and it's been very, very key for them. I think it's been a function of mentality. It's been able to build their mentality, and we hope that the injured players recover in time for the game tomorrow. Let's talk about Walid Regragui, James. It's almost the first time that African representative went to the World Cup with indigenous coaches. We've said that during our countdown to the tournament. And this young man, he faced a lot of criticism, even in his own country, for lack of experience, according to some section of Moroccans. But we saw what he did on the continent, won the CAF Champions League, won a whole lot of medals to show that he actually knew what he was doing. And he has displayed that so far at the competition. And after the game, after the victory against Spain, he said something that was very heartwarming. He said he is not representing only the Arab nation, that is representing the whole of Africa. Right now, Morocco is carrying the whole burden of the entire continent.
Yes. Yeah, good one for him. I mean, the stories like this that gladdens the heart. Somebody that was not reckoned with, somebody who was not given a chance and has been able to prove everybody wrong. For a local coach like that, going up against some of the best heads in football, the likes of Belgium, the likes of Spain, the Enriquez of this world, the Roberto Martinez's, all these guys, he was able to overcome them. It goes to show how good he is. Whatever happens against Portugal, he has proven himself. And for me, I think that we've already gotten an African Coach of the Year. I mean,
there is no doubt.
To believe he's going to get that award because he has shown that he is somebody that knows his onions. He knows how to go about things. He knows how to organize his side. So I mean, good one for him. Good one for African football. That's the exciting thing about football. When everything is against you, you're able to prove everybody wrong. I mean, so. To me, even if they don't go further in this World Cup, I mean, look out for Morocco in the next AFCON. If they keep up like this, I mean, they're going to break that jinx of not winning the AFCON since 1976. I mean, they're overdue for at least another AFCON title.
Yeah.
So he has really done well for them. He has proven that with the right support, backing. I mean, local coaches can do wonders.
Yeah.
He has proven that. He didn't just do it against he did it with big body, the heavyweights. So whatever happens against Portugal, he has shown that he's one of the best on the continent.
Okay, James, I'm going to ask you a twofold question as we round up now. What do you think Morocco can do in this game to get a victory? Maybe like add some attacking flair to what they are going to bring against Portugal. And then, how do you think they're not going to be complacent? Like, okay, we've created history. We've equaled the record of Ghana, Senegal, and Cameroon at the World Cup. How do you think they can imbibe this winning mentality so that it won't be like, okay, we lost to Portugal in the quarterfinals and we've made history, that is fine by us. How do you think they can take on that winning mentality to even dream of playing in the semi-final? So quickly answer those two questions.
Well, for me, that mentality thing, I think that's always been the major problem of African countries. When they get to the quarterfinal, they tend to just relax and like, okay, we've achieved enough. Let's just sit back, relax, and let's just watch as things unfold. So whatever the outcome, we've done enough. That's one mentality which has always affected African teams. If you check the other teams, the Germans, the Italians, the Brazilians, quarterfinal is not an achievement for them. I mean,
yeah.
They face a lot of criticism because they always believe that going to the World Cup, they must win it.
Yes.
South African country cannot go to the World Cup and win it. Until you take care of all those basic things, all those going there with the right mentality. It is not enough to just say, okay, I've gotten this far, so it's enough. Let me just that's the difference between the African teams and the other teams from other parts of the world. They go to the World Cup with a different mindset to win it. Portugal is in this World Cup, we don't want to win it because they believe that they have good players who can do that. Brazil, the last time they won the World Cup was 2002. I mean, for a big team like Brazil, after many years, they've not been able to win the World Cup. I mean, that's a big slap on them. Argentina last won the World Cup in 1986. Every year they go into the World Cup, we want to win it, we want to win it. So what South African teams from having that same mindset? It's not enough to just go to the World Cup and just fill up the numbers. It's that time African team go to the World Cup and believe that they can win it. An Asian team got to the semi-final in 2002. That was South Korea. No African, don't assume they are better than African team. The African team, aside the Europeans and South Americans, Africa should be next in line in terms of talent and achievement in football. So for me, I think that mindset should change. Morocco should just go into that game and believing that they can do it. Mm-hmm. I know that I'm giving it to Portugal, but who says upset cannot happen?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about answering your first question about how they can approach the game.
How they can win the game. How they can win the game. Rather than sit back and wait on the counter.
Yeah, they did that against Spain. I know the funniest part against Spain, they had a couple of chances. The guy that came in the second half, he had some
to replace the Nesri,
he missed some very good chances. I think he's not that kind of striker. I don't know how clinical he is because he had some decent openings, but he was just, dilly-dallying and just missing good opportunities. And you're not going to, against Portugal, the chances will come at a premium. It's going to be very difficult, because you have Pepe there, you have a Cavalli, you have very good world-class players who are going to make things very difficult for them. So and like I said, against Portugal, the chances they should try and nick 1 or 2 chances that will come there, because chances are going to be very, very tight for them. So it's not a chance, but a game where you filtering away chances.
Okay.
Because they're not going to come and play. It's going to be very, very tight for them.
Okay.
So you have to be very, very clinical, because, like I said, if they should concede first, I don't know how they're going to react, because they're a team that built from behind, and against this Portugal team that shows that they are a high scoring side. I mean, they don't want it to end in how will I put it? The lose of goals. They should be very careful. Try and take your chances when they come, because they're going to come at the premium.
Okay. So, of course, the continent will be rooting for Morocco tomorrow against Portugal, because we had wished that we would still have the likes of Ghana, Cameroon, Tunisia, of course, Senegal at the tournament. But, excuse me, now that we have only Morocco left, we just have to, of course, put all the weight behind them. James Abirebi, thank you for your incisive analysis on our preview of this game. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Femi. Always a pleasure.
Okay, so tomorrow we wish that Morocco will, maybe like James said, maybe double what they did against Spain in order to get a win over Portugal, who says an upset. We cannot record another upset this tournament. We've seen it happen for Saudi Arabia against Argentina. We've seen that happen, Germany versus Japan. And of course, also saw that with this same Morocco against Belgium, the second most ranked team in this competition. So who says it cannot happen? So we wish Walid and the Atlas Lions all the best as they face a star-studded Portuguese team tomorrow in the first ever quarterfinal at the World Cup. So until tomorrow, when we come around to, of course, talk about yesterday at the World Cup, and of course to look at maybe some other developments ahead of that game. We'll see all of you. I remain Olafemi Ashalu. Bye for now.